When I was around 8 years old, my parents worked late nights. My mom was a nurse, and my dad drove trucks across state lines. Most nights, I was left home alone for a few hours. Our house wasn't big, but it felt huge when the sun went down. The rule was simple: lock the doors, don't open them for anyone, and never answer the phone after 9 p.m. One night, my parents left earlier than usual. My mom hugged me tightly and said, "I'll be back before midnight. Mrs. Carter next door knows you're alone." I remember watching their car disappear down the street. The house immediately felt quieter than usual. Too quiet. I made myself some cereal, turned on cartoons, and sat cross-legged on the carpet. Everything felt normal for about an hour. Then I heard footsteps upstairs. Slow footsteps. At first, I told myself it was the house settling. Old houses make noises, right? But these were steady, heavy, like someone pacing back and forth. I muted the TV. The footsteps stopped. I sat there, holding my breath, listening. My heart was beating so hard I could hear it in my ears. After a few seconds, I laughed quietly to myself and told myself I was being stupid. That's when I heard a woman's voice. It came from upstairs. Soft, calm. "Sweetie, are you still awake?" I froze. I recognized the voice. Or at least, I thought I did. It sounded like my aunt. She sometimes babysat me. I stood up slowly and called back, "Aunt Lisa." No response. I took one step toward the stairs. Then another. My hands were shaking. "Aunt Lisa." I said again, louder. The voice replied, closer this time. "Come upstairs." "It's okay." Something felt wrong. My aunt never came over unannounced. And she always called my name, never "Sweetie." I backed away from the stairs and grabbed the house phone. I dialed my mom's number, but it went straight to voicemail. While I was still holding the phone, the footsteps started again. Faster now, coming down the stairs. The voice changed. It sounded annoyed. "Why aren't you listening?" I dropped the phone and ran into the bathroom, locking the door behind me. I climbed into the bathtub and pulled the shower curtain closed. I didn't know why. I just felt like hiding. I heard the bathroom door handle jiggle, then knocking. Slow, gentle knocks. "Open the door," the voice said, no longer pretending to sound kind. I covered my mouth so I wouldn't cry. Minutes passed, maybe longer. Eventually, the knocking stopped. The house went silent again. I stayed there until I heard my parents' car pull into the driveway. When my dad checked the house, he found nothing. No broken locks. No open windows. No sign of anyone being there. But later that night, my mom asked me a question that still makes my blood run cold. She said, "Why did you tell the operator you were home with the babysitter?" I had never called an operator, and we never hired a babysitter that night. I was 10 years old when this happened. My parents trusted me enough to stay home alone during the day. Our house was a long, narrow place with a hallway that stretched from the living room to the bedrooms. That hallway always scared me, even in daylight. One afternoon, I was playing video games in the living room when I heard a door creak open at the end of the hallway. I paused the game and looked up. My bedroom door was open. I was sure I had closed it earlier. I shrugged it off and kept playing. A few minutes later, I felt it. That heavy feeling of being watched. I slowly turned my head toward the hallway. A man was standing there. He was tall, too tall. His head almost touched the ceiling. He was wearing dark clothes, and his face was mostly hidden in shadow. We just stared at each other. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. After what felt like forever, he took one step forward. I screamed. He stopped. Then, very slowly, he raised one finger to his lips. "Shoo," he whispered. I ran. I didn't even think. I ran out the front door barefoot and straight to my neighbor's house. The police were called. They searched every room. They found nothing. No footprints. No signs of forced entry. That night, my dad checked the hallway. He noticed something strange. The attic hatch was open, and the ladder was pulled down. The police said someone might have been living up there. They never found him. But for years after that, I would wake up at night and swear I could hear footsteps pacing above my ceiling. My parents drilled one rule into my head: never answer the door when you're home alone. So when the knocking started, I ignored it. The knocking continued. Then a voice called out, "Delivery." I didn't move. The voice sighed, "I know you're in there." That's when I panicked. I backed away from the door, heart pounding. The voice changed. It sounded angry now. "Open the door." Something scratched against the wood. I ran upstairs and hid in my closet. From there, I heard the sound of glass breaking downstairs. The police later told us someone had tried every window, all except the one behind the couch, the one where I had been sitting minutes before. This happened the last time my parents ever left me home alone. I was 12, old enough, they thought. It was raining heavily that night. Thunder shook the house. Around 11 p.m., the power went out. The house was plunged into darkness. That's when I heard breathing, right behind me. I turned around. No one was there, but the breathing continued. Slow, calm, right in my ear. I ran outside into the rain, screaming for help. When my parents came home early, they found something terrifying. Wet footprints, leading from my bedroom into the attic and stopping right above my bed.